Hi and welcome back to the garden. In this video I'm going to be showing you some more seeds that you can be collecting at this time of year as we're getting into early autumn. There's already another video on our channel that I put on a few weeks ago, and that was collecting some seeds from our garden. And since then there's been even more to collect, so I thought it'd be a good idea just to take you through some of the seeds that we've collected over the last few weeks, and also to give you an idea of what you can be doing at this time of year, leaving things to set seed and allowing you to get that seed for harvest and then for sowing either later this year or now in some cases, and also in the spring next year. The first seed I'm going to talk about is calendulas, so the pot marigold, and this year we only grew one variety, which was Indian Prince. Now this is a beautiful variety. You'll see this featured in a lot of our videos this year. It has a very nice deep kind of beautiful orange colour, and it's almost like it almost glows, if you like. So we've been deadheading the calendulas to keep the flowers coming, but as we're now approaching autumn and obviously the frosts are going to start coming soon, we just want to make sure that we start leaving a few to set seed. And this is what we've done already. There's been a few that we've been able to harvest and collect. We've actually been drying a few of the calendula heads for the actual flowers to use in different things within the house. So we've actually been able to get some of the seeds from some of those dried flowers. So these are what the seeds look like, and they are the most interesting seeds you are going to come across. They're like, as I've described before, like little miniature fossils. They're all different kinds of shapes, but you'll find that they're all these kind of curved, they're almost like little fossilized sea creatures. And if you leave these on to develop, so you're leaving the heads to develop into seed heads and the seeds to develop, you'll find that these, when they're ready, if you do leave them on the plant, you'll find that you'll be able just to touch them and they'll start to come away. And that's the time when you can be there with your trusty envelope at the ready in order to collect them. So calendulas can be sown now if you wanted to. We do have some growing and they're doing okay. And with autumn sowings of calendula, it does mean that you do get them earlier to flower next year. But if you didn't want to sow them now, you can always wait till the spring, and these will store perfectly fine somewhere cool, somewhere dry, and you can keep these for the spring. Another one that is a beautiful perennial this time, so calendula was an annual, this is a perennial, is Astrantia. So this variety that we have in our garden is a beautiful bred, and it's called Astrantia major Gill Richardson. And we have grown this before, we have used this in our garden designs before. We've been quite unsuccessful with a plant we did grow last year, which we had growing in the main perennial border, and that was in a very sunny position. But this time we bought this variety and decided to place it in our shadier area, and this seems to have taken off really well. So this has got a beautiful deep red flower, and when the seeds are ready on this one, you will find that the seeds themselves within that flower head will start to be able to, if you touch it, it will start to come away. And these are what the seeds look like. So these seeds are a bit of an oval shape with a bit of a tufty end, a bit of like a feathery kind of top to them, and these will come away readily when the seed is ready to be harvested from the actual flower head itself. So with Astrantias, it's a good idea to sow them kind of towards mid to late autumn, going in through the winter, because these will need a period of cold in order to germinate. So we sow them later on in the year. They have the winter, the coldness, and then come the spring, the weather warms up, and that then instigates the germination. So for these ones, we'll be sowing them a little later in the year. And another one which is going to need the cold is Lychnis coronaria. Now this is a brilliant cottage garden plant. Beautiful magenta colours of the flowers, and they flower all the way through the summer. And if you keep deadheading it, it will go on even now. These are very, very easy to collect. The seed heads are a bit like a small like oval, and then the very top of the seed head will start to open as the seed is ready to be dispersed, and it's at that time that you need to get in there and just turn that seed capsule upside down, give it a bit of a shake, and all the seeds will just come out readily into your little envelope. So the seeds are quite small. They're lovely and round, a nice dark colour, and like I say, if you just tip open the seed capsule into your envelope, they'll just easily just get dispersed into that envelope. Very, very easy. And again, these will need a period of cold in order to germinate. My next one is a spring sower, and this is a lovely plant. It's a Ligularia. So Ligularia thrives in damp soil, and we have just one variety of Ligularia in our garden, and this is Ligularia przewalskii. It's a bit of a mouthful to pronounce, but this one has these beautiful spires of lovely yellow flowers. This plant in our Sheffield garden self-seeded everywhere. In fact, the plant in our garden today came from a division in Andrew's mum's garden, which was one of those original seedlings. So it's got a bit of a story behind this one. And at this time of year, the seed starts to become apparent on the spires of the flower, and you know that because you can see the little feathery tufts starting to come out, usually from the bottom as it goes up to the top. So I'll just show you what the seed looks like. So this is the seed, and it has this very feathery end, and that just aids in the dispersal of the seed in the wind. So this is quite a fascinating one. Like I said, this one will be sown in the spring. It can be a bit erratic to germinate, but we will try and get some more plants grown from the seed we've collected. Our next one is another spring sower, and this is Echinops ritro Veitch's blue. Now this one is a beautiful globe thistle, lovely blue globe, beautiful, attractive to butterflies, bees, all the pollinators. Very fascinating flower head, goes well in a cottage garden and is perfect as a plant that you can mingle with other perennials. And the seed for this one is quite spiky and quite sharp, so be very careful when handling this. As the seed heads develop, you will see when it's ready, because you'll start to see part of that globe falling off. So that's the time when you need to be making sure you get your envelope and start to collect it. So these I'm going to wait until the spring, and we're going to sow them then. Next we have one of our seeds we've also grown from seed this year, and this is a cosmos, and this is Cupcakes Blush. A beautiful variety of cosmos, and one which we will be growing again next year. So this one, I just snapped off a seed head, and this is what the seed looks like. So this is still part of the seed head there, and these are the seeds here, these black, almost like torpedo looking structures. In amongst that you have got some of the debris from the rest of the flower head. So these will need to be sown in the spring and obviously hardened off before planting out, because these are tender, so we don't want to be growing these during the frost or the winter. These need to be sown in the spring and then planted out once the risk of frost is over. So I'm just going to pop them back in there, and I will sort through them very soon. And then we have a Scabiosa. So this is a Scabiosa called Kudos White, and it's a perennial type of scabious, and it has these beautiful bright white flowers, very attractive to the bees. And if you do allow this to go to seed, what you can expect is these beautiful shuttlecock like seeds. So each seed is a bit like a dart, has a pointy end, and then has this like a shuttlecock end to it, and that just helps again in the seed dispersal. It's amazing the way that plants have developed these strategies in order to get seeds far and wide. So with this one, I'm going to wait till the spring to sow that. They're just fascinating, these seeds, absolutely fascinating. And then lastly, I have a very special plant, because this one was in a friend's garden and I politely asked, could I have a little sprig? And this is Honesty, and these are absolutely fascinating. They have a beautiful flower, and then as that flower turns to seed, you have these beautiful paper-like seed heads. And if you can see, these ones have already distributed the seed, whereas these other ones have not, because you can just see the seed within the seed case. So if I just get this pot, and what we can do, I'll just show you with this one that's already come off, is we just need to take away that seed inside. And then what we're left with are these beautiful dark brown seeds. What I'm going to do with these is, I've missed the boat for sowing this year. These are generally sown in early summer, but I'm going to store these for next year. And in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy these lovely seed heads. I'm going to remove the rest of the seeds from these and just enjoy these papery seed heads in some kind of dried flower arrangement, I think. That's all the seeds I want to show you, at least for the time being. If I come across any more, I will do another video about it. But for the time being, thank you so much for watching. It's been lovely having you along on this video with me. With regards to seeds, because these are all in open pollination, some variations may come about. Not all the seeds and the flowers that we're going to grow from the seeds collected today may be true. That means that there may not be an identical copy of what the parent plant was, and that's simply because the bees and other pollinators are going around different flowers, different gardens, collecting pollen, and sometimes cross-pollination can occur, and that will just generally mean that the parent plant may not be what your seedling develops into. Thank you again for watching. Please give me a like, please subscribe to the channel, and if you have any comments, please drop them in the comments box just below the video. In the meantime, please do take care, and we will see you very, very soon. Hello and welcome back to the garden. In this video, I'm going to be showing you some more seeds that you can be collecting in early autumn, just before please give us a like, hit that like button, please subscribe.